I have actually got 2 drinks because the first drink's quite a short drink.
It's like whiskey over ice or something.
No, it's not alcoholic at all. It's a ginger shot.
Oh no.
But no apple.
Well done. Thanks, babe.
I looked at every single one that I could find and read all the ingredients, and this is the only one that didn't have some sort of apple base.
I mean, just for reference, I don't not like apple. I actually really like apple. Dot's struggling there. But I can't have apple anymore. I did an intolerance test and now it's not allowed.
It's a really weird thing to not be like.
It's
I know
in
bread's
everything.
a bit of a weird one to not be able to eat, but apple's very strange.
It's in everything. Well, cheers.
Cheers, cheers, cheers.
Don't smell it. That's rookie
I
error.
did.
Okay, we ready?
Ready? That's really not that bad.
Why is it spicy?
Oh, the after.
Why is it spicy? I love
The
it.
first bit was fine, but the after.
But are you so proud of me? This is not alcoholic.
Well done.
I am so proud and relieved.
But yeah, so the first thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, and actually I didn't really get to choose about this, it's just what we're being told at gunpoint to talk about, is cowboy builders. And no, darling.
It's not cowboy boots, it's cowboy builders for anyone.
Yeah, Heather
You've
and
seen
her
these
cowboy
before,
boots.
and you're going to see them
Best
again.
friends.
If anyone's got the pleasure of watching us right now, they're going to see that Heather is wearing her classic cowboy boots.
Well, yeah, one of them.
You've got
My
multiple.
brown. Well, Alana has my brown ones right now, because whichever ones I don't wear, she's
What
taken
size
to wearing
shoe
them.
are you?
A size like 4.5, 5.
Oh, same.
Well, if you ever need any cowboy boots, you know where to find me. I've
Okay.
got these ones, and I've got some black. I was gonna wear them, black glitzy ones, and I was like, maybe a bit much for
Never
Monday
a bit much.
afternoon.
Never a bit much.
So the first story I want to tell you is actually not one of my stories. It's something I heard, and I can't give credit to who it was because I can't remember who told me or where I read it.
Comment if you know.
A comment if you know, and again, not my story, but I'm going to tell it anyway. It's about builders. I don't know whether they were necessarily cowboy builders, but it was basically where this person had kind of realised after a while, of a couple of days as their builders working at their place, that they were like, oh, I haven't really noticed them go to the loo. Or at least they haven't asked me, like, oh, can we go to the loo or where the loo is? But she didn't really think much of it because, you know, she's not kind of watching their every move. But it started going on, weeks later, and she realised, like, they definitely had never gone to the loo. So she actually, because she's got the balls to sort of be like, excuse me, like, let's talk about your bowel movements, like, and actually ask, like, what's going on? And basically, it turns out, because they didn't think she would let them, I don't think it was to do with her and her personality, just builders just didn't think that they'd be allowed to because there wasn't a portaloo outside.
Mm-hmm.
They were going to the local McDonald's to do their business, but if they needed a piss, they would just go in their car, get a plastic bottle and piss in their car. And she was like, oh my God, like, please use my toilet. It's fine.
Have you ever been in a car while someone's trying to piss in a bottle?
I have, but only when it was my brother when he was like really young.
Yeah, my brother too.
So it's a bit of a different
I
vibe.
haven't got brothers.
Only
so
child vibes. Yeah,
very
no-
in-betweeners.
Yeah, you'd think that I don't actually know where we didn't have a toilet until like last month. So it's been like 6 months of Reno and I think they were all just pissing in the garden, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But no, I never addressed it. I didn't feel like, we also did have a toilet initially, but it was horrendous.
We had the same.
Like, I don't know what died in there, but it was horrendous, like awful.
Someone's dignity.
Yeah, to the extent that when we bought it, it consumed my whole brain as, what the fuck am I going to do with that toilet? Because I don't want to remove it.
Yeah, we had to remove our toilet. It was in there for a while, and obviously it was carpeted. Classic Reno thing, carpeted. But not only that, it had been leaking for years, so it was leaking underneath the toilet, carpeted as well. And we had been using it like for builders and for us when we were around there ripping things out. But I was quite glad to see that go.
So you know this, and this is sort of new knowledge for people who are listening, but I may or may not have another property that I may or may not be renovating. I don't know if I've told people about it yet. So I haven't, then there you go, sneak peek, the cat's out the bag. But basically, when you find out a bit more about it, it's livable. It's had tenants in for years. It's very nice.
It's beautiful.
It's lovely, especially the outside. But the inside is just, it's clearly been modernised at some point. It's totally usable. You could totally go to the loo and not feel grossed out. However, I went to the loo when I was just there the other day. It has carpeted. It's carpeted. It's just the carpet's so kind of, it's in a bluish colour that when I was like going around to view it,
You didn't
hadn't
notice?
noticed because I know I'm going to rip it out, so I hadn't really kind of looked into it too deeply. But yeah, I'm
That's
having
really rogue
I'm having
in
my
somewhere
little
that's been
wee.
tenanted.
Yeah, and because it's not just a loo; it's a shower
It's
area
got to
as
go.
well.
It's got to go. One of my friends did a renovation. I spoke about him a week ago, but their house was completely shot. Like it was. They said themselves that they were quite naive as to what they were taking on, and they lived in it the entire time.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's probably as bad as our house was. And they had carpeted bathrooms upstairs, and it was so sodden. So basically, they had the carpet, and under the carpet, they had put a plastic liner. So it had just stayed wet.
Yeah,
So it's not
Can't
even
dry.
like,
That's
it
actually
never dried.
vile.
And he ended up, it was upstairs. He ended up rolling it up and then just throwing it out the
You have
window.
to.
Because he was like, I can't drag this
imagine
through
if
the
it
house.
dripped somewhere down the stairs.
I know, you're never getting that out. And I mean, their house was state. So for him to not want to do that at that time was quite wild. I don't know why they do it.
I completely forgot about this story. But one day we went into our flat and there was a shit on the floor.
What? And you, what?
Human, dog,
Well,
animal.
don't know, but I'm presuming not human. I'm no
Presuming.
feces expert. Surprise, surprise. With all my background, but
One of her many jobs.
yeah,
I wouldn't be
Wasn't
surprised
a
if you were.
feces
a stool expert.
Yeah.
No. So I came to plug in something to the extension cable and went to put the plug into the extension cable, and there was just a shit just curled around the extension cable, and I was like, okay.
That
And
sounds like
then-
a cat.
Yeah.
That sounds cattish.
Yeah, it's giving cat, it's giving fox.
Or fox. Yeah, both are very similar.
Possibly,
yeah.
but whatever this was, kept shitting in the house.
Really?
Yeah, no decorum. Constantly. Like,
So what was this like? You'd
it's
leave.
shit in my tool belt.
And you kept the tool belt afterwards?
My nice pink, no, it's gone in the bin now. But
Oh.
like, I
That's so
was
sad.
really squeamish about it. Like, there's poop in my tool belt, and it was like in the pocket.
Well, I
So I bought a pink
It's like it was
tool
taking
belt.
the piss out of you.
I know, it's like it was laughing at me.
Yeah.
But how is it getting in? What?
Because this was back in the day when,
you had, like, no back door
we
and
had
stuff.
no back door.
Oh,
so
okay.
they, like, the
Makes
back of the
sense.
house was taken off, and there's the door where you used to walk into the kitchen.
Yeah.
But like that, there was just a sliver at the bottom of the door where they would
Right.
basically screw in one of our original 1930s doors
Yeah.
to like keep the back of the house secured.
Yeah.
But it was obviously getting in that little gap, but there wasn't much we could do about it. And this was like in the depths of winter. But yeah, I came in and I went to, because I bought my pink overalls, my
Yeah.
pink toolkit, and my pink tool belt at the same time. The tool belt has never seen the light of day again, other
That's
than
so
like
sad.
2 videos initially.
It's seen the light of something.
Yeah, because it shit in the pocket, and it was like, I was like, oh, I'll deal with that at some point. But we weren't in a livable state where we had like running water or anything
Yeah,
to
what
really
do you
clean
do
it
with
up.
that?
So we just passed this tool belt around the flat for ages until one day Anya was like, "Are you
It's
going to
gotta
let
go.
me throw it away? It's got to go." And I was
Yeah.
like,
That's
"Yeah,
so
realistically, I'm
sad.
not dealing with it."
Oh my God.
But yeah, it was like I had a dog I didn't ask for. Like every day I came in, there was just another poop on the floor.
That's so funny. I've actually forgotten, which was so funny, is we had a camera put up and we had motion detectors on it. And this camera could do a 360, and obviously we wanted it to face out the window, but it turned around and Miles got a little notification that said, you've got like an intruder or you've
got a
got
visitor.
Yeah, it's
movement
very dramatic when
notification.
it sends
And
you a
there's a
notification.
pigeon just like, like
Right in its face.
right in the thing, like it's posing for the camera. And I'm like, what? And we zoom over there to like save this pigeon because I felt really bad for it. Like, I didn't want this pigeon to be stuck in our house.
It's thought it's won the lottery. It's got this huge house.
Oh,
to
I don't know. It
itself.
was freaking out.
Yeah,
We
so
managed
it's
to
a
get
very
out,
nice
but-
house on a very good piece of real estate. That pigeon is doing very well.
It's looking
Ooh.
around thinking what it could do with the place.
At the time, not even a burglar bothered with looking
Yeah,
around that
no,
place, so
I
it
know.
wasn't in the best of states. But yeah, that was quite a fun one. But he did poo all over the floor, but
I
only
am
in that
so
one room.
glad that you guys are talking about piss and shit because I
Because it
thought
takes
for a
the pressure off
while
of you.
that it would be just me with the jizz, piss and shit
Yeah,
stories.
but you know what's funny is that you did bring it up.
Yeah, and I actually do have another story. Okay,
Obviously.
so I have a friend who's an estate agent, and they were telling me about a sale that got really, really bad, and the seller had got really bitter because something like the long and short of it was that they basically got pushed and pushed and pushed, and they kind of were at the point where they had to take money off when they didn't want to because there wasn't an alternative option or something,
Okay.
and basically their seller had really taken the piss. And when the sale went through, they obviously vacated and the new people came in, and apparently the seller, making sure I got my things right,
Seller buyer, right?
the seller who left the house had left a personal deposit on the carpet. Forget about leaving your keys. He literally left DNA.
Yeah, but like, surely there are way better ways to do that than fully like leaving your dignity at the door.
It's so obvious it's you.
Yeah, but so we were talking about this and we were like, oh, surely there's something you like as the estate agent, surely you got involved. And he was like, of course I found out about it. That's how I know the story. But it's cheaper to just get cleaners in to sort it out than go to court about it. And, you know, it's just court's so expensive.
Sue him for shitting on the floor.
That's amazing.
That you're just better off just paying cleaners to come and sort it out.
I can't believe we actually did that. We went to go see some friends the other night and they're in the process of buying a new house and they're in quite a long chain. And it was all fine. They got it all sorted. And I think someone fairly near the bottom of the chain, I'm not sure exactly, had decided that, well, they didn't tell anyone until they were already gone. But, oh no, we're on holiday for 2 months. We can't exchange until we're back. And actually, they were nearly done with the process. They've been in this process for like 4 or 5 months now. And my friend, who I won't name because I don't want to, what's the name?
Compromise?
Yeah, I don't want to make her feel uncomfortable. But she said she wanted to send a poo to their house. She won't. She's not that kind of person. However,
she's not the kind of sending poo kind
I
of
suppose
person.
if they've haggled you so low or really, really messed it up, you kind of want to show them what they paid for. Like,
yeah, what the repercussions of your actions were. But I mean, imagine.
Call me old fashioned, but I don't think it'll ever be me.
No.
Oh no, not your style.
Not my style. No.
Not even with what's going on at the moment. You're not gonna just.
Oh God, no. There are many things, but not that.
Not that. No, you can't. You have to sort of sometimes swallow it and say to your friends, like my friend did, and be like, I want to do this.
Yeah. And
I think actually doing it is a different story.
I'm a huge believer in the universe. It will come back and get her.
Yeah.
It will.
It would. Yeah.
It will. If it hasn't already. Like, everything happens for a reason. And the reason will become apparent. But
I really want to ask you about it, but we can't talk about it, can we?
I know. We're nearly at the end now. We're nearly at the end now.
Well, that's positive.
Yeah.
One day, guys. Maybe by the time this goes out,
one day there'll just be a solo pod episode. It's going to be me in a spotlight. And I'm just going to sit here. And I'm just going to monologue.
Yeah, really dramatic. Sat on a stool.
Story.
Just like
I feel like
cowboy boots and shorts.
Should we do the whole thing and we should dramatize it and have like all the characters and like special
very
effects.
like moody black backdrop. Yeah, we can act it out.
It deserves that much. It does, because it's
one
actually
day.
controlled my life.
I love it. All right, so now I've actually started doing some DIY myself. I wanted to ask you guys what you think is actually worth DIYing and what you think is worth paying for. Heather, what do you reckon?
Well, this is like not actually very insightful, but we had asbestos in our house, and like, it's funny the kind of response you get on, like, so many people have been like, oh, just get rid of it yourself, it's fine. And a bunch of people have been like, you're going to die because you stepped foot in that house. So it's kind of to do with the Cowboy builder story, actually. But we decided to do the right thing. We got it removed. We basically had a coal bunker outside, and inside, the previous owner had clearly dismantled a old shed that was made of asbestos. Instead of removing it, he just put it in this coal bunker, and it's been there ever since. And then the boiler inside, there was all this like adhesive round the inside of the boiler. This boiler was from like the 20s. It's really super old. Definitely doesn't work. But that also had asbestos. And then there was a dividing wall in the cupboard under the stairs that was asbestos. But when the guys came to do it, we were expecting like Monsters Inc. level hazmat.
Oh yeah.
Like proper,
I love Monsters Inc. so much.
Proper legit. And then 2 guys turned up in night tracksuits. And I was like, oh, okay. Feels like this is a bit, I feel like you're DIYing this even though I've paid you to do it.
Yeah.
And it was fine. They got rid of it. It's not my lungs. But they, when I was like looking outside out the back, because I didn't obviously want to like go out. I didn't know, they didn't specifically tell me like, don't come near where we're doing it. But he kind of like, they did all this when it was inside, they kind of put some sheets down and like masking taped it so that everything was secure. But they didn't say, don't go outside, because one of them was removing the stuff from outside. So I'm looking out the window and he's literally there with a cigarette in his mouth.
What, does he have any...
So they
he was smoking while he was doing it?
Yeah, they then put, double lung issues. He then put like a, kind of like a hazmat suit, but really flimsy. It looked like paper. kind of like COVID vibes, but he put it up and it was tied around his waist and he was smoking a cigarette and then occasionally pulling something out. I was like,
did he even have gloves on or anything? Or a mask? Obviously not a mask.
Not that I remember, but I remember just being very taken aback by obviously the fact
Where
that this
did you
was something.
find them?
It was like a connection of a connection of a connection. Like,
that's always the best way to do it, I feel.
And it was the cheapest and it happened. I wasn't put at risk.
It's out of your
nothing
hands.
happened. Nothing happened to my house. I wasn't put at risk as the customer.
And you got rid of
It's their own decision to work like that. But I was very surprised when everyone's like, "You cannot DIY asbestos removal. That is serious stuff." And then these guys just turn up in night tracksuits. And
their life expectancy is probably like 40 though.
And I'm like, okay, you're the experts. I'll let you do what you need to do.
And they're not only being very blasé about asbestos, they're also smoking. So their lungs are just going to be completely shredded.
Yeah,
they don't care. But like you say, you did the right thing. You did it properly and you got rid of it.
So I would say don't DIY asbestos removal. That's
but also
one.
don't be shocked when the person you come to do it isn't
Is a
wearing
DIYer.
full Monsters Inc. hazmat suit.
Yeah, exactly.
I definitely relate. Like when we watched our builder knock down the wall, like I wasn't actually there when they put the RSJ up, but you can imagine this ginormous piece of steel.
what's
A
an
steel.
RSJ is a steel, yeah.
Giant piece of steel. And I wasn't there when they put it up, but they needed like 4 or 5 guys because it's and with acros and stuff. And I'm glad I wasn't there because I think I would have had an anxiety attack. But that part, I think I would just go and get all my friends, say, look, I'll give you beer and pizza. Let's just try and get this up together. I understand the need for, I can't remember what they're called. Like they're called like steel slates or something.
Oh yeah, the slatey bits.
Slatey bits, and then you have a pad stone. And I understand the distribution of weight, so I'd kind of be able to sort of work that out.
Yeah.
The part where they just put the acros up, and then an acro is, have you seen an acro?
No, I'm
It's
like
it's also
resisting
called
the
a
urge to
strong
ask
boy.
every other word and
That's
what
fine.
it means.
No, because I didn't know any of this stuff.
Okay, yeah.
So they also call a strong boy. It's like a ginormous pole, like a pole dancing pole.
Oh, the ones that they prop it up
Yeah.
with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Seen
prongs
that
probably,
happen,
yeah.
And you can hire them from like anywhere. And you just go at the wall, smash it down. As long as it's like, supported underneath, because obviously you will need a steel. I just thought like I could have done that. I mean, it would have taken me a very long time, but that would have been so much fun. I did actually have a little bit of a go. And while I am glad I paid someone to do it because I wouldn't have known how to do it, if I ever do need to knock a wall down, I think that's the part I will just...
The only thing I would say with that is fair enough that you could do that. You do need to make sure that you know the steps for building control.
Yes.
It's probably the only thing.
But
Because I
then,
wouldn't
from
have
what
known
I
that.
understand, it's the acros, it's the structural engineer before and after, it's the pad stones, and it's the steel splints.
Yeah.
And I know all those things now. So, and also like I love building control, and I actually really like the person who came around to help us, but they are very much, they come around, tick a box. And
I email mine back and forth all
Yeah.
the time, but it's just you need to be aware of that. Don't
you can't.
just go knocking down the wall.
I'm not saying people should just go around and start knocking walls down willy nilly. But I just personally feel like with the knowledge I now have, I would feel confident potentially taking off $1,000 or $2,000.
It is a lot of money to
cost.
save that. Yeah.
But then is again, I now don't work full time at the time I did. So how I would have found the time at the time, I don't know. But now I'm like,
But that's the way up, isn't it? So like you were actually saying earlier before the podcast that you're considering paying somebody to finish off all the little bits around your
Yes.
house because there's not enough time. So it's like the way up of time and money. So for me and Miles, we're there like, right, do we actually have the time to go around and do this stuff ourselves? 1, learn how to do it. And 2, physically do it. And 3, I think someone said when we first took on this project, it's like you're only really as good as an unskilled labourer to begin with. Yeah, okay, you might get really good at laying floor, you might get really good at taking walls down, but like ultimately at the beginning,
the first time
you're not worth that much money to the building site and you're losing out on the money that you can earn from your job.
And it depends on what you plan on doing more.
Well,
like
yeah.
if I laid my limestone tiles on my porch first, it's a very small area. And while I'm really proud of that because it was the first time I ever did it, they are not level. Like it's not the best. It's not my best work. And I know it's a porch, it's the first thing you see, but it's such a small area. I just don't think anyone's really going to get too bogged down by the details. But it means that then I did my patio. I did the leveling much better, but there's issues I've got with the patio. So if I were to lay a patio again, I'd 100% use those tiles. I probably wouldn't lay something that big. It's 40 meters
It's
squared.
huge.
It's huge, and I still haven't finished it.
You're very ambitious.
But I definitely would do it again on a smaller scale.
But you're also I know obviously it's something that you want to get done. You want it to be finished because you want to sell the place because you've got a new place you're going to. But it's not something that's critical for something else to start. So like the patio is lovely to have, but like you can leave it unfinished for a few weeks and it not be a problem. I know you don't want to, but you can. It's not like it's your bathroom, you haven't got a
like
toilet.
it or not, that's what's happening.
Yeah, but you haven't like not got your kitchen. It's not like you haven't got your bathroom. So I think that's also another thing to consider. It's like, can you live without the thing that you haven't got? Is putting that floor down in that room worth paying the builder to do it?
Yeah.
Or could you give it a go, but it's going to take you a while?
Also, we are coming at this from a somewhat privileged perspective.
Yeah.
Because like there are a lot of people that bought flats, cheap reno properties because that's the only way on the property ladder, which is similar to Anya and I. But we like, there is a argument for like, you DIY what you have to DIY.
I think
not
that's
even
the
about
case.
What's like, what makes sense. It's like, well, we physically don't have the money to do it, so
and we need to do it.
We need to do it, and we need to get it done. Obviously, no one's suggesting you do any plumbing work or electrics, but it's like,
but you can. Like, there's some people. I can't remember who it was. Someone online went. And I know it still costs money, but they knew they had to plaster their whole house, so they went on a plastering course rather than paying someone else to do it. And yes, there is an upfront cost there, but then they can do the whole house. And like, you don't, or YouTube or whatever. So for us, again, from a privileged position, I'm like, right, time wise and skill wise, I'm going to pay the plumber to do the tiling in the bathrooms. And then I'm going to do the tiling of the utility splashback, and then I'll do the kitchen splashback, and then I'm tiling a fireplace. So like, I'll work up to the bits that are like, the utility is the least important one, right? So then you can build up to it if you can.
And it's great that you are planning on doing some DIY tiling, but unless, you know, your next house, if you do move, you know, hopefully you won't have to do very much tiling. And so it's kind of like, it's actually not, it's like the plastering course. I wouldn't necessarily, I could do a plastering course and it probably would save me quite a lot of money, but like, there'd be no point you doing one because you don't plan on having a house that's another big enough
but
renovation that
learning
you
the
need to do
certain things that like you can then do in the future. So over the weekend or last week, my dad came down to teach me how to lay flooring, and to be honest, it was actually pretty easy once you know the first few things. And like, that was a really good DIY, and I've got the whole rest of the house to bloody do.
And it's so expensive, the labour for laying floors.
Well, it's heavy work, but it's not difficult, but it's long.
Yeah.
So it's just like getting to that point, and I was lucky enough to be able to borrow your saw and like these sort of things, so we can do that at a really low cost.
Yeah.
But if you're working a really heavy duty job and then you've got kids and you've got no time to do that and you need to live in the place, maybe it's better to try and work out how to save up weight and then do it in the future rather than doing it now.
job.
Well, that's what we've done. We've decided that we are going to, I'm going to get quotes because we've got this little bit of money left, basically. So what happened was we had the money from when we budgeted the whole thing right at the beginning, when we were just like, felt very rich with the cash that we had ready for the reno. That depleted really quickly, and what we did, and it was terrible financial advice, but actually has worked for us kind of in the long run, is we had all this money for the reno, which we put in a 5% interest. So we made really good interest on it. And what happened was we then took $5,000 out or ish, about that much, to buy a holiday for ourselves. And we very much were like, oh, we'll pay it back. So then what happened is when we finally kind of ran out of reno budget, we remembered,
we've got a $5,000.
We have this 5K that
you stole from yourself.
Yeah, that we stole from ourselves. So we've suddenly just realised that, we have this money, that we have to pay it back, obviously, but we have this money. So now we're kind of going, what could we use it for? And I think we've decided to get someone to come and paint the outside of our house.
Okay.
Because it's just...
Curb appeal is quite a big deal when you're selling.
Curb appeal, but also it's just one of those really horrible jobs I've heard. Like, it's hard work and it's quite dangerous if you've not got the right tools and kit. So, yeah, going to do that. And then also our front path, get someone to lay that. Because it's not... The problem is that I actually can do it. I could. I've got the skills to now. I just don't have the time. And it's kind of like...
You do reach a stage, don't you?
Yeah. And very kindly, I've been gifted the stones for that front. So it's kind of like, well, actually, if I'm only paying for labour,
it makes it a lot more manageable. But yeah, I think being able to choose between, like, if you're going to buy a renovation project, and I've seen a lot of jokes about this, it's not always renos, but like people buying a house and they're like, when you spent all your money on the mortgage and then you're sat there with like no furniture, for example, that's such a classic experience. And it's what happened to us when we first moved into the last flat. You just don't have any extra. You're like, I've already spent all of this on the solicitors and on the surveys and the moving costs and whatever else, that you're like, right, okay, can I live here as it is? And I saw a video from someone the other day and they were like, we lived in complete squalor for 2 years before we actually could do anything.
Yeah.
And then now we've got this beautiful house, but like it's 10 years later. And it is a bit of a long game if you're going to do a renovation. Like buying our house was a bit mental, but we knew that we didn't have to live there. We knew that we had budget to spend to be able to get it up to scratch. We were naively thought we had enough money and we've had to spend more, which is ridiculous. Well, no, it was stupid of us not to know more. But I think there's only those two ways to do it. Like you had a budget and then you guys didn't.
Well,
and like you got to do what you got to do.
I don't want to speak for you, but I believe the reason why you didn't have a budget is because the day before you bought the house, you didn't know you were going to buy a house.
That's true.
Yeah, I had no
Which
idea I was
is
going to buy a
not
house
the
when I
most
bought a house.
normal way of buying a flat. But
No,
most
but
people...
But to
what
get
I
onto the
also
property
did-
ladder.
What I also did was that when we bought the flat, I was like, right, we need to do an extension because the surveyor wrongly told us that we had to do
Which is really annoying.
We
Yeah.
had to knock it down and rebuild it. So
if you want to hear that story and you haven't known about it already, that's in your
my
episode.
episode 3.
Three.
It's episode 3.
It's episode 3.
And then so I basically was like, right, extension, plumber, electrics, done. Surely, what else is there?
Porch.
And porch. There was like a few big things, but then little did I know, you need UPVC window, that needs changing. So that was a little bit like, that cropped up, but also I didn't even think about it. You need skirting, you need flooring, you need paint, you need a kitchen.
Tools.
Like, so the kitchen, to be fair, was in the original, like, what I thought I was going to have to spend money on in my spreadsheet. It was literally like kitchen, extension, blah, 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 blah. But that, and we're going to need a rewire. We need the plumber. But then it's all the little bits every single
do
day.
add up.
Some more adhesive, some more grout, the tiles, the this, the that, all those little bits that I just didn't even see coming because I'd never thought about skirting in my life. I just didn't think. And I remember one of the plasterers was like, you're taking all the skirting off, that's going to cost you an extra $1,000. And I was like, okay, firstly, no, it's not. It didn't.
No.
Partly because we got it gifted, but also because it wouldn't have cost. We did one room for 150 quid and we've got 2 bedrooms.
Yeah.
And a back room, so it wouldn't have cost us $1,000 anyway. But I think he was just doing the classic, you're a woman, I'm going to tell you.
And also,
no.
you're a woman, you won't be able to do it yourself. So obviously a labourer as well is going to cost
Paying someone to put it in might have ended up
$250, $300 a day.
Yeah, no, imagine. No, we did it ourselves, obviously, because you did it with me.
You DIO'd.
Yes.
We DIO'd. But so I didn't think of all the little bits here, there and everywhere. It's like, so the budget that I came up with the week after we bought it just was shot immediately when I then like went a bit further and figured out that you actually need all the bells and whistles. You can't just put in a kitchen and an extension. Plastering, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, plastering isn't cheap either. We're battling with that currently.
It's huge.
And we're trying to work it out. I'm not going to do plastering. I said, like, there's lots of things that now we're at the point where we're like actually almost being able to move in. So there are some things that I'll do, but I'm not hanging doors and I'm not plastering because I want the doors to shut properly.
Have you seen that new stuff that a lot of people are using where you've got not blown plaster, you're not dot dabbing and plastering, but you've got like walls that are a little bit not ideal and they skim the walls with that like
It's that white stuff,
DIY stuff.
With the big scraper thing.
I
you
would use
slap
that
it on with a roller and it's really looks really satisfying.
Bobbly.
Yeah, it's bobbly, and then I would give that a go, definitely. I would also plasterboard a room and then get a plasterer to skim it.
Yeah.
I would do those 2 things, but I wouldn't do the actual plastering because it's only when you then do the rest of the work that you realise that if you fuck it up, it's going to cause you so much more drama when you're then doing the skirting or hanging stuff on the walls or anything else because nothing is level and nothing is straight and the corners aren't perfect. So in terms of plastering, if we're taking that in isolation, I'd happily plasterboard and I'd happily skim walls, but I wouldn't do the proper plastering part
deep plastering
on plasterboarded walls.
Also the best feeling coming home and it all being plastered.
Yeah.
Like it's
kind of great, but then there's the impending doom of the fact now I have to miscoat the whole thing.
You hate miscoating so much.
I hate miscoating.
I haven't done it with the whole house yet, so come back to me in a few months' time. But right now, I'm like, it's not that bad.
Enjoy.
Yeah, I'm not
No,
so
but you know
worried.
what we did? We have fantastic friends, and this was before I knew the two of you, so luckily you didn't get dragged into it. But we do have fantastic friends, and of my friends, for a period of time, I had my friend Cara there every other week. Her partner Ted, he was doing the garden. My friend Chantel, who's sanded floorboards, she came around and helped me sand the floorboards. My friend Tegan came and helped me painted.
So
Notice
nice.
these are primarily female names also.
Yeah.
But like all of our girlfriends basically took a shift and came and did all this stuff with us. But the painting, when you said like, oh, with the steel, I'd get some friends and some pizza and stuff, that is a huge one. When it comes to painting, the next time, and I will do it indefinitely, be like, right, guys, I'll buy the pizza, we'll get in some whatever you want, let's have a painting day. Because there was one day that all of our friends came over and it took the real hit out of miscoating. We miscoated one room, me and Anya, and then we had our friends around and we got the whole rest of the flat done in one day.
Yeah.
And it really
Feels
took the
amazing.
Many
pain out
hands
of
make,
it.
and it's not a difficult job.
No, it's just time consuming.
Yeah, so it's like it is something that anyone can just come and like, here's a roller.
And when you're
Go for it.
facing it day in, day out, I did
Yeah.
it. There, one of my videos is like, welcome back to my week of painting. I was painting for like 14 days straight because once you're miscoating, well, then you've got a white coat, second coat of white, then your coat of colour, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But like when you're painting for 14 days, if someone has to come in and paint for one day and that saves you 5 days,
Yeah.
it's just a no-brainer. And obviously that relies on the fact that you have fantastic, lovely friends like I do. But like, we are your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You can help me.
Painting soon. I'll
will
need to
be.
paint my new place.
Yeah.
So
There's going to be
there'll
quite a
be
lot of
plenty
painting.
of parties.
But it's interesting because I would say painting is a no-brainer in terms of DIY.
Yeah.
Why would you get someone to...
Well, we always wanted to, can't afford it, but I will be getting a paint decorator in for that hallway.
Oh,
yeah, because that's just super inaccessible.
Like I need to put like scaffolding up in the hallway basically, and I'm not doing that. And every other room I'll do it, but not that one.
But I spoke to our electrician and he was like, oh, the one thing that I will never, like in any of my... Because these guys are all so lucky. Not lucky, but like...
They're in the right trade, aren't they? They're in the right field.
They're in the right field, so they will make triple, quadruple what Anya and I can make on a property flip because their mates are all builders, electricians, and da-da-da. So they do the building work for their mates and they do the electrician work for their mates. So they basically save all this money on these renovations and make huge margins, which
That's a way.
is so inaccessible for us.
Don't bother with the DIY. Just go and become a tradie.
Well, this is what I'm trying to get my brother to do,
Yeah.
but it's not working currently.
Damn it.
But he said, oh, the one thing I won't do myself is the painting. I'm like, that's so mad because... But he's got the luxury of the fact that everything else is done by his mates.
And
so
he also probably can take a hand in it. And actually back to the sort of cowboy builder thing. So our previous flat, we bought off of a bricklayer. And he'd had the property for, I think, 20 years. It was a whole house and then he split it in two and we had the top floor and then he'd sold off the bottom. And every single job, including bricklaying, was awful. Like everything. But he had done everything himself. So the bathroom... Miles opened up the toilet lid and like hit too hard against the system, cracked. And we're like, okay, well, it's old. We had to turn the water off and all this.
that's some force.
Well, but it was already cracked. So
Okay.
that was the reason that it was so easy to do it. It was cracked, but he'd filled it with silicone. It was probably about an inch or two deep of silicone in the bottom of the cistern because this has obviously happened before. And when we then took it apart and realised it was all down the back and there was like mould growing in the back. And every single tradie that we got round to come and try and fix things, because there was quite a lot that was a bit dodgy and weird, they were like, it works. I wouldn't have done it that way. And so it's just insane, like
find it
when it's
so
your own
funny.
place.
Yeah, and I find it so funny when you get tradies in and they just love to badmouth the work that got done before, and you're like, I get it. Like, I get it. I probably do the same if it's anything to do with in my industry, but like...
But when they fill a
It's not
hole,
helpful.
but when they filled a hole with a jumper.
Oh, I've got a towel still in the side of my house.
Okay, well,
it's
there you go.
hidden.
We've had the same. There you go.
There's a towel inside of my house. It's not left, and it's going to be there forever.
We had a jet bath, which I hate. Never get a jacuzzi bath. Worst thing ever. So grubby, horrible, breaks. We couldn't get any spare parts for it because it was so old, and we weren't replacing the bathroom, so we lived with it. I never had a bath in that bath. Miles did, and I was like, I can't be soaking in 20 years worth of grime in these pipes. We cleaned it, but the pipe underneath it leaked, and we just had a paint tray underneath it to catch any drips. And I'm like, this is just not the vibe, babes.
So
Not ideal.
talking about like making money and clever ways of saving money. Meg, your AI voice has come up quite a lot on my TikTok.
Mine too. All the ASMR vids.
You've been megged.
Yeah.
Anya gets megged all the time because Anya is obsessed with those kinds of videos.
Really? Does she love ASMR?
And once you engage with something, once my phone hears me go, oh my God, that's Meg, it knows to show me more and more and more. It's literally like, which bed is your favourite? And it'll be like egg bed, jam bed.
No, the best one I've heard, and it's something like, which human chia seed pet would you have?
Really? So it'd be like, which human chia seed pet would you have?
Yeah. Literally.
That's it.
Which human chia seed pet would you have?
So the
Genuinely,
internet is flooded with Meg saying the
Whispering.
weirdest.
It's my weird side hustle.
Whispering the weirdest shit.
And I wonder if people will notice it now, because I've had random people from school and stuff. Obviously, it's my whispering voice, so it's not my this day-to-day voice.
Yeah, because
I've had people from school who haven't seen in 10, 15 years, and they go, sorry, I just couldn't not ask you this. Is this you?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like,
because
yeah.
when I came across it, I sent it to Dot
Yeah.
and said something along the lines of, OMG, this sounds like Meg, or like, this cannot not be Meg, or something, but joking.
You said it sounds like Meg.
And she went, it is. I said, no fucking way. What the hell is going on?
Yeah. So for some context, I spoke into a mic for about an hour and a half, whispering about a year and a half ago. And yeah, it's on a website called 11 Labs. And if you'd like to go use it, then I'll make a few pennies off of every word that you do. That is not an ad. I make money from it, but not anything to do with the podcast. I just random side hustle. Miles found it on Reddit back in the day. And
I got a voice for this.
Yeah. And I just went, there was a lot of normal voices just chatting. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to do whispering.
And ASMR was really popular at the time. So the video that you sent me was just an ASMR, like they were just going on that trend. But this is what we're talking about. There's now this AI generated nonsense going on, which is like Lizard's best bunk beds situation.
Yeah, and I'm narrating it.
And it's your
it's
narration.
Like AI generated beds.
I've only been megged like once.
I never all the time.
I never get them. And I don't know why. They're like, no, you're not the target market. It's like health and well-being.
Yeah, because you're not sharing them
or
with
like
anyone.
shaving.
Yeah, but
ads.
like when it comes up on your feed, are you like, oh, I don't like to listen to my voice and scroll on, or do you you're like, oh, how am I being used today?
It's never. I think it's come up on my feed twice, and actually I don't even know because everyone sends them to me, but I don't actually get them. I think there was a shaving one once, and that's the only ones I've ever seen naturally.
That is so weird.
But yeah, you don't connect it through the whispering though. So it's not like, oh, I better give Meg all the ones of the whispering.
It's like, it reminds me of that trend, you know, like how would you, things that would put a Victorian child in a coma
Yeah,
kind of vibe. This.
Yes.
Oh, in 300, I don't actually know when the Victorian era was, but like in however long, you can make money by whispering and then they'll put it along with jam beds and egg beds.
No, but the thing is, it's not even a Victorian child. Like I could explain it to my grandma and she'd be like, excuse me?
What?
Yeah, I know.
What, Thierry?
Yeah.
I'm not even sure if everyone in my life knows about this, that I do it, but...
I think that probably more people than you think know about it because it's up on their feed.
But what's interesting and which I love about it is that you only did it once. You spent 1.5 hours doing the recording and then now you just get the royalties every month from these people doing these videos.
Which is hilarious. Yeah, like Bon Jovi. Yeah, it is a bit baffling. I do find it a bit uncomfortable, I'm not going to lie, but making money off of it. And if people want to use my voice, they can go for it.
Something that we touched upon, I just want to briefly talk about it a little bit more because I am so glad I did it. And I actually did it 3 months after I should have. And those 3 months I really regret. Is if you are more like Meg or myself, not so much Heather with her very last minute decision to buy a flat. And if you have kind of got like a nice chunk of money that you plan on spending on your renovation, definitely put it in one of these
high interest bank
accounts. Because I think, because we played with 85k, that was our budget for the reno, and that's how much cash we had to spend because we sold a house to have that money. And I think over the last 18 months, I think we made $5,000 on that money being in our bank account.
We're in a bit of a weird time right now with really high interest bank accounts, but make sure it's one that, have a think about it. If you're like, right, I've got 85k, you could put 60k in it in one that you lock away and you can only access within 3 months. So there's some that you have to like give notice to be able to get the money out.
Yeah, you can only take it out once a month or something.
Yeah, so bear that in mind of like how much you're spending over time and then maybe have like 10 grand or whatever you're planning on spending sooner. So your extension, you're like, right, that 20 grand will sit in one that's actually quite accessible and I can get to it within a day or two.
Yeah.
And then you've got the ones later, but just don't lock it away if you need it.
So what we did, just for context, if anyone is kind of playing with the same amount of money that we did, is we put 5k in a Starling bank because you get 5% interest on money up to 5k. And that was our spend money. That was just like our going to B&Q, here you go, that's the card we use. And every time it kind of got depleted to about a K, we would put the money back in. Where we get the money from? Good question. We would have a saving account through another one of our bank accounts. That was more at like 4%. It wasn't as good. But again, it was easy access back and forth. Like I had full control of it. So that had about 20k in it just so that it could fill up the 5k one when it could. And then the rest of the money was in a money box account. Because Moneybox can keep your stuff safe up until 70k. So our 85k wasn't. I wasn't going to put all of that in there anyway.
This sounds so much like an ad. It's not.
It's not. But and I know it's tempting for us to go, oh, let's not say where we did it. But the point is that it's really helpful information. And if I didn't know this, or I didn't know for ages, there's so many different accounts, and I actually personally really like Moneybox and Starling. I think they are actually really good accounts. I have a bank account with a certain brand. I won't say who that is because I don't think they're very good. So I'm not going to mention them. But yeah, so we did that. And then basically with Moneybox, so the one we had is you could bring stuff out once a month, but that could be, so you could do on the 30th and then you could do it on the 1st.
Okay.
But then you wouldn't be able to do it for the next. So I just made sure I kind of had my logistics in my head. And that's why it was so good that I had that 20k kind of in case, so I could deplete that. But yeah, so
if you have it sat there ready, then it's worth trying to look into these things.
Because like I say, and I know not everyone has that sort of money to be spending, but when you do get to the point where you do, because you've sold a house and you're on to the next renovation, like I say, we used 5k free money.
So that was your free holiday?
Well, it wasn't free because we haven't paid back, but yeah.
So our next episode won't be released on Sunday. It's going to be released on Wednesday the 17th because we are all away.
Yeah. So if you miss us, tough luck.
And make sure.
Do it.
Yeah,
Please.
do you want to do it?
No, I want you to do it.
Okay. All right. Well, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and do leave us a little review because it means a lot to us. Thank you. See you soon.
Bye.